The following is a sponsored program paid for by Yaba TV.
Welcome to our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. I am your host, Sia. We have an interesting topic today. How do you choose friends? Well, my guest on the show, Ty Warren, is going to tell you all about what he does and how he chooses friends. But most importantly, we're going to talk about credit, how you can utilize your credit, how you can increase your credit score, and what you need to do to increase your credit score, and so much more. If you watch this show today, you may have to find out some of the mistakes that you're making, it can be eliminated. So you need to tell your friends, your neighbors, and everybody you know about our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. We'll be back in a moment. You are back with our wonderful show. I like to say our shows are wonderful because it brightens your day, it gives you information that you need, it connects you with the Africans and African Americans based on first-hand knowledge. So that's a little niche that I have, and I'm really thankful that this comes from actually the viewers telling me how they feel about the show. So today's topic is, how do you choose your friends? I have with me Ty Warren, who's going to tell you all what he knows about this topic. How do you choose your friends? Welcome to the show, Ty.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So our viewers that are watching today, some of them are wanting to know, who is Ty?
Well, I've been around for a little while. I'm a certified credit consultant. I work with a dealership here. I'm a senior finance manager, the senior loan underwriter for auto loans. And I do credit. I teach credit there on the site and also at my office. I teach people how to raise their credit score.
So you're the credit guy?
Yes, I am. That's what they call me, Ty, the finance guy.
So let's get down to the topic of the day. How do you choose your friends?
Well, that's an interesting question. How do I choose my friends? It's a case by case. Hopefully the friends that I choose, they wish me well. People want to see me do better, and I see them do better. Friends, when you say friends, a couple songs come to my mind. Dionne Warwick, That's What Friends Are For.
I know that song.
Okay, and TLC, about What About Your Friends? That's the two songs that come to my mind. But so friends are a case-by-case basis. Hopefully they wish me well, and I wish them well, and we all do well together. Absolutely.
But there are some friends where they're not so good of an assistance to you. I mean, you may tell them your goal or your wish in life, and the next thing you know, they have an attitude about, but who does he think he is, or who does he think she is? Why is she trying to do this? Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't we have such friends?
Well, I wouldn't call them friends. I would call them maybe associates. But friends are a case-by-case basis. When I call you my friend, we're ride or die, to death do us part type thing. Friends are friends. You know, that's what friends are for, you know. But if they wish me wrong or they don't wish me well, I don't consider them friends. Maybe associates, I would say they are, as opposed to a friend. So
when you were growing up, how did you choose your friends as a youngster growing up?
I was athletically, I was playing football quite a bit. When I was in high school, I played in front of Eric Allen, which is Marcus Allen's brother. And I had a lot of people coming at me because I was really good in sports. But case by case, they have to wish me well. Hopefully they didn't want everything that I had and gave me nothing in return. So as friends, it's a give and take relationship when it comes to a friend. You know, when I was a kid, you know, they used to come at me, but I choose them case by case. You know, there were a lot of associates, but very few friends. I think friends are in that special place. You know.
Would you go an extra mile for a friend?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. A friend is ride or die. A friend is something that I'll give them my last if I had it, and hopefully they would do the same thing in return. That's what I call them, my true friends, you know, as opposed to just an associate. You know, so friends are somebody that, again, I hear that song, That's What Friends Are For, with Dionne Warwick. If you listen to it, that's what I think about. when I think about friends.
But usually, in a lot of ways, I've seen people or I've heard people say, you don't know who are your true friends until something happens.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
did that ever happen to you?
Yeah. I had a couple of friends where I needed some help, and they were there. And even to this day, it's been like 30 years of friendships. And usually friends last for a long time. In the good times, the bad times, they're there. That's what a friend is always there, good and bad times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll give them my last, and they give me their last. You know, that's what a friend is.
Mm-hmm. But do you find a moment to say, I work hard, but I have to reward myself by taking a vacation or just time off, and that's just it?
I'm still learning that because I work. I work 7 days a week sometimes, and I have to force myself to take off. And I just say, listen, yo, I got to take, like I just got back from Texas a couple of weeks ago, but I hadn't taken a vacation besides that in a while. So that's something I do have to learn, how to relax and woosah, because I do work. I work a lot.
Well, I work a lot too, but I find time. I do go to church on Sundays. So at least that, and then try to relax for the rest of the day. And if anything, sometimes I cook on the weekends. Mostly I do it on Saturdays. Do my cleaning up and cook and do shopping, whatever I need to do it on Saturdays. And then Sunday I go to church. But that the same day, Sunday, I take it to rest, just rest my brains, rest my body. The work I do, it entails a lot of thinking. It entails a lot of thoroughness, following through. So with that said, I have to find a day off. But I work 6 days a week.
Okay.
So did you find yourself when you were growing up that one day you're going to be in a position where you can be of help to the community at large, like what you're doing with this credit consultant?
Well, I told myself when I was coming out of high school, I didn't want to do too much manual labor. I wanted to be behind a desk. And I think I got into credit consulting way back coming out of high school. I got a bunch of credit cards and messed up, and I said, well, let me, and I took a program how to become a credit consultant, and I did that. And over the years, back since 1983, I've seen how it works. And now, these years now, I know exactly how to specifically raise your credit score. I show people, you can do all the disputes you want, but how do you raise your credit score? And that's what I've been teaching people over these years. And just changing people's lives. I take people from a 500 to a 700 inside of 18 months sometimes 6 months. Really depends on the program that they want to get involved with. But it's all about credit. It's all about credit. I tell people it's more important than cash a lot of times, when it comes to that. But yeah, but I have people, because the way I do it, people text me, they call me, they send me emails. I'm always answering questions every day about different aspects about credit or getting finance for an auto loan.
How do you feel being in that position where you're the finance guy they go to?
Well, the reason why I'm in the dealership, because the transportation is a necessity here in Southern California.
Anywhere in the world.
Okay, definitely. But you got to have transportation, and then if you don't have the credit, I can teach them how to get there. And that's why I'm at the dealership that I'm at now, because we also underwrite loans here for people and get them started, and I can get credit unions to buy them, because I also work with 180 credit unions through the Codal system. And then we have about 14, 15 subprime lenders that we also work with. So I get pleasure when they've gone to other dealerships and they come to me, and I get them approved for a vehicle and help them with their credit along the way. So that's where I get my joy from, because I change lives. I change lives, literally.
We're going to talk more on that, changing lives, and how to use credit utilization, how to maintain your credit and get a better score. We're going to talk on that, but we need to take a quick break and acknowledge the people who make this show possible. We'll be back in a moment. You're back with our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. I am your host, Yesir. So before we took a break, I did say we're going to talk about credit utilization and how to improve your credit scores. And I know Ty, this is one of his best things to talk about. I mean, this guy's favorite word to talk about is how you can increase your credit score. And at this time, I'm going to let Ty take over. Please do.
Okay. Well, folks, I tell about improving your credit score. First of all, pay your bills on time. That's 35% of your credit score is your payment history. Secondly, you got to have revolving lines of credit with your credit cards. If you don't have any credit cards, you'll never ever be over 640. So, and then when you have credit cards, I tell people treat your credit cards like your debit cards. The rationale is if you don't have any money on a debit card, you can't use that debit card, right?
Right.
That's exactly what you should treat your credit cards. If you have the cash, you have the credit card, use the credit card and pay your credit card off through your debit card, through your bank account, and get into that rhythm of using your card. And if you have to leave a balance on your card past the closing date, no more than 30%. I tell people, if you have a credit limit under $1,000, you really shouldn't even have to leave a balance on the card. Treat it like your debit card. Use your card every day, but pay it off before your statement closes. On credit cards, there's 2 dates. There's a due date.
So before you go, hold your thought.
Yeah.
Let's work on numbers.
Okay.
If you have a card and the credit line is $1,000, what is the 30%?
If 30% of
utilization?
$1,000 is $300. If you have to leave a balance on the card.
But let me play the devil's advocate.
Okay.
If you use it for at least, instead of 300, maybe 399, 340, does that hurt your credit?
Well, the key is you can take it up to $900, $950 if you want to, but you want to pay the balance down under $300 or less before your statement closes. That's the date they report to credit agencies. So you can max it out, but pay it off before your statement closes, as opposed to the due date, because the due date's after the statement closes.
And how long from the time you charge to the time it closes? What's the duration?
Well, that's where you have to, every card is different. That's where when you get a credit card, you want to identify the closing dates on your credit cards and the due dates. And the closing dates are usually 30 days before your payment is due. Because once the statement is closed, then you have a payment due 30 days later. Get into the rhythm of the cycle of using your card, but pay your balance off before your statement closes. So when it closes, there'll be nothing due, or at least under 30%. And that's the rhythm of the cycle you get into using your cards. That's what I teach, because a lot of people don't understand that cycle. But once you learn that cycle, your credit score rises like you wouldn't believe.
And so when it begins to, you begin to establish it like this, will lenders or the creditors automatically increase their credit line?
Well, what happens
Sometimes?
is if they're not making no money, because if you're paying your balance off before your statement closes, they can't charge you interest. So they're losing money. So they're going to teach every 90 days, every 4 months, they're going to raise your limit because trying to catch that balance you should leave on the card, but they want you to leave on the card. But I say, if you don't have to leave a balance on the card, don't. Because you're paying interest when you leave a balance past your closing date. So use your card, pay your balance off before your statement closes, and they'll get to raise your limit. As they raise your limit, also helps your credit score rise too. They may offer you a second card. I tell people, you should have at least. There's no magic number for credit cards, but I've seen at least 3 credit cards you should have, and get into that rhythm of using your cards regularly every day. You gotta go shopping. You gotta buy food. You gotta buy clothes. You should use your credit cards. Identify the closing dates so you have enough time to pay your balance off before your statement closes. And that's the cycle in the rhythm that you get into using your card.
I've seen people that have 20 credit cards. I mean, and they're keeping up with it. Their credit score is really high. I know one, she's my neighbor. Hi, neighbor. And she tells me all the time, my credit score is in the 800. And I say, wow, you did an excellent job to get your score to 800. So how can people get their score increased to 800?
I tell people, don't make it rocket science. It's really simple. You got to buy clothes, you got to buy food, you got to put gas in your car. You should be using your credit card as opposed to your debit card. If you don't have a credit card, I can show you how to get credit cards. You may have to get secured credit card. I find out when people get secured credit cards, they treat them differently because they put money down, but it's only secured because maybe you're a risk, but they'll give that security back to you if you pay it at a certain period of time. So use your credit card as opposed to your debit card. Pay your balance off before your statement closes. When it closes, be nothing due. If you have to leave a balance on that card, no more than 30% of your entire balance. So if you have a $1,000 limit, 30% of $1,000 is $300. Here's where people get involved because most limits are $300. So 30% of $300 is $90. That means if you leave more than $90 past your closing date on that card, your score goes down because you're over 30%.
So are you telling me if people that have a secured credit card, they're paying their credit bill on time, and then it will come to a point where that secured credit card will turn into unsecured credit card?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I never knew that.
Absolutely.
So you're the guy to talk to, definitely.
Well, yeah, it's just I've been doing this since 1983, folks. I just told it myself, but yeah, I find out that credit cards are more important to your score than home loans and car loans because it has a longer payment history. See, the 2 types of credit, revolving and installment. Installment loans are home loans, car loans, student loans, and personal loans. You know they're installment loans because they all have ending dates. At some point, your home's going to be paid off. At some point, your car's going to be paid off. Your personal loan is going to have an ending date, as opposed to your credit cards. They're called revolving. They never end. If you live to be 120 years old, you're still going to have a credit card if you keep it in good standing. That's why credit cards are 30%. The utilization of that is 30% of your entire credit score. So your payment history, keeping your credit card balance under 30% and living, that's 85% of your credit score.
So what happens if you have no credit history at all and you want to purchase a car or maybe a house?
Well, that's why one of the reasons why I got into the credit business. When I was a kid, I tried to buy a car, and they said you need credit. Well, how do you get credit? I'm trying to buy a car. Not knowing, hopefully your parents would help you, but if you don't have the parents, get with a credit union or a bank, maybe get you a secured credit card, start building those credit cards, treat them like your debit cards, and when you come into the dealership, you have a score. Now, if you don't have a score, you're a first-time buyer. We do have first-time buyer programs. Sometimes they require a little bit more money down because you're a first-time buyer. But I tell people, if you don't have the cash, well, fine. Go get you a secured credit card. Go to a credit union. That's why they're called federal credit unions. They help you with your credit. So go to a credit union, become a member, have them give you a credit card. Start using it like your debit card. Give yourself a couple months, then come back and see me. See where your credit score is that time.
Well said. Looking at the camera here, can you tell our viewers one word of advice that they should take and run with it today from you, the finance guy, the credit guy, to them?
Well, one thing I say, pay your bills on time and get you some credit cards. And then give me a call so I can show you how to make it work. The number that we have in my office is 888-703-9235. Or you can go to my website at excelcreditcorp.com or give me an email at ty@excelcreditcorp.com.
Well said. Repeat that number again.
It's 888-703-9235 is my office number. You can email me at ty, that's ty, at excelcreditcorp.com, or go to my website. You can find my email and my phone number at excelcreditcorp.com.
Thank you so much for your time on our
Absolutely.
show. I'm sure a lot of our viewers can really use this because so many people are having challenges
Yeah, they don't teach
to
you this in
keep
school.
their credit cards open and to increase their scores, just to be able to utilize the credit card wisely and be able to increase their scores.
Absolutely.
So many people are going through, especially during this pandemic when times are really tough.
Give our office a call, have them contact you, and you get in contact with me, and I'll get
They can contact you directly. That's the
Absolutely.
reason you're on the show.
That's right.
But I do thank you so much for your time on the show
All right.
and sharing this important information with our viewers.
Thank
I
you.
wish you continuous success with your business.
All right, thank you so much.
We need to take another quick break to acknowledge our sponsors, and then we're going to take you to the motherland in songs, music videos that will make you want to dance. We'll be back in a moment. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our television broadcast today. What a good topic that we had today. How to make friends, and of course, how to select your friends and make money and return the money. And of course, credit cards are something that we all need to use, and wherever you go, take it with you. Like American Express will say, I hope they pay me for that. So our show is on every Sunday at 4 p.m. right here on KCAR 9. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody you know about our beautiful show. We have a YouTube channel, Yaba Media. I suggest that you go to our YouTube channel and watch some of our past shows. But while you're there, I'm asking that you like, share, and subscribe. That's the only way we know that you're loving what we're doing or you're liking what we're doing, and we're bridging the cultural divide between Africans, African Americans, and our community at large based on first-hand knowledge. Till then, we will see you next week at the same time on the Yaba TV show, your contemporary bridge to the motherland, Africa.
The proceeding was a sponsored program paid for by Yaba TV.